Hello, I'm Karen Elgersma at the Ross Bay Villa, and you're watching Go Island on ShawTV. On today's show, Meg Cuthbert skips into a practice at Island Hoppers, and Raji Kabli discovers how young people are getting trained in innovative ways. All that and so much more on Go Island. Hello, thank you so much for stepping back in time with us today on Go Island. We are standing in Ross Bay Villa, which you probably have seen if you've ever driven Fairfield Road past the Ross Bay Cemetery. It's this beautiful heritage home that has been lovingly restored. Simone, let's begin. For people who've never been here, who is the Ross Bay Villa? What's the history behind this place?
Ross Bay Villa is one of the oldest homes in Victoria that has survived. There's only about 10 to 12 homes from that time still around. It was threatened by demolition about 14 years ago, and it was saved, and the Land Conservancy saved it, and it was restored back to its accurate 1865 appearance by over 160 volunteers and over 72,000 volunteer hours.
And what has been interesting to walk this journey with you, as we have here on ShawTV, is how much learning has happened, right down to the wallpaper that's been discovered. So what makes this home unique and special?
It makes it special in the fact that the history was still there. We just need to unearth it and to showcase it. So we did a lot of analysis. We really tried to get it right. It's not just 1860s furniture thrown in. It's things that the original family would have owned. And so we were really precise, and that's why it actually has taken us 14 years to get to this point, to get it restored to absolute accuracy.
We are going to explore this house with all sorts of hidden secrets in it. I'm fascinated by the wallpaper that you discovered and the stories behind that. But first, when I was a little girl, one of my favorite things to do was to jump rope. Well, there's actually an organization here in Victoria that not only skips rope, but they do it with flair. Meg Cuthbert with that story. It really is an experience to be in the Ross Bay Villa because it has been painstakingly restored, every detail of this place, right down to the wallpaper. Simone, tell us about what you discovered when you started to peel away the wallpaper here in the villa.
Yeah, well, we found that most rooms still had all the 8 layers of wallpaper that had ever been put on. And so by removing layer by layer painstakingly, we were able to see what the room looked like in the 1940s, when this wallpaper was on, or in the 1912 period when the Mortimers had that wallpaper, or in the 1880s when this wallpaper was put on.
Let's talk a little bit about the family that originally built this house. Who built it and lived in it?
It was Francis Roscoe and his family, and he is he's one of my great heroes, Canadian heroes. He was a merchant, came from Liverpool in the 1860s, and was really upset when Canada had promised to bring the railroad to BC as part of Confederation, and they were backtracking after BC joined. And he got up and really wanted to fight for it, and he did.
Can you imagine if that railroad was never built?
Exactly.
BC would not be BC as it is today. Well, today's school is been revolutionized. Students have so many choices, including maybe trying on a trade before they've graduated. Raji Kabli with that story. We're here at the beautiful Ross Bay Villa. Simone, what room are we in right now?
This is the dining room of the house, and this is where the Roscoes would have had lavish dinners with all the social elite of Victoria. And yes, it's been restored to also 1865 with its wallpaper. We had to hand make the border, and
hand make it.
Yes.
And every single detail in this room has been thought out. It's accurate, right down to how Christmas trees were displayed, because the way you put the Christmas tree up is very indicative of that era.
That's right, yeah. They were often very small and sort of tabletops, and they would have had quite a bit of different decoration. So you'll see decoration made from wallpaper remnants and homemade stuff, and then maybe some glass kugels from Germany, but yeah, that's about it.
And probably would have had real candles on it at some point on Christmas Eve.
We're trying to save the villa, though. We don't want to burn it down, so that's why it's got fake on.
How can we help save Ross Bay Villa?
Well, right now, people can help in a very specific way, and that is by donating to a fundraising campaign in order for us to be able to buy the villa off the Land Conservancy.
Perfect. So go to the information you'll see on your screen right now, find out how you can be involved, or come for a tour. I think that's such a lovely way of doing it.
Yes.
And once you're done, you will know in your heart how you want to contribute to saving this place, because you're not just saving a piece of history, but that history tells stories every day for everyone who walks through it, and well, for generations to come.
Hopefully, yes.
Absolutely. We have to take a very short break, but please stay with us. When we come back, we're going to continue to tour Ross Bay Villa, and we're going to be doing a little football. Welcome back to Go Island. We are in the historic Ross Bay Villa, one of the oldest houses in Victoria, and this house is just filled with stories. David, tell us a little bit about what this room, the kind of experiences people would have had back in the day in this room.
Well, they would have spent most of their evenings during the cold winter in this room around the dining room table. They would have worked on their diaries, possibly, read books. You have to remember that there was no electricity at that time, and so they'd be all huddled around the candles or the coal oil lamps.
Absolutely. Wherever it was warm, people would kind of gather around that warmth.
One of the things that we want to do as we move forward with the villa is to provide educational programs for schools.
Absolutely.
And for young children. Because there's so little about our previous history, and particularly our local history, that people are aware of. And this is a perfect venue, I think, to bring some of that information to teach children.
Speaking of young people being empowered, did you know that the Mount Doug football team is rocking it right now? Well, our new VJ, Kevin Chirac, knows all about it, and he decided to hang out with the guys because they are getting ready for a big game coming up, and he wanted to find out how they're feeling about it. Remember, you can watch the Mount Doug Rams play live at the Subway Bowl on ShawTV Saturday night. Oh yeah, it's going to be fun. We are here in one of the oldest houses in Victoria, Ross Bay Villa, right across the street from the Ross Bay Cemetery. Every square inch of this house has been lovingly restored. Tell us who is behind us here, David?
This is William Roscoe, and he was the grandfather of Francis Roscoe, who was with his family, were the first residents of the house. And William Roscoe himself was an abolitionist, sat in the House of Commons for Liverpool and fought for the anti-slavery movement. And he paid dearly for it because Liverpool was the headquarters of the slavery trade in England at the time. He was beaten up, pulled from his horse, eventually had to leave Parliament.
And those are the kind of stories that you will gather as you wander through this house. So come for a tour, and while you're on a tour, make sure you take the time to donate to help save the Ross Bay Villa, because this place is magic. Now we have to take a very short break, but stay with us. We've been talking about football, and next we'll be talking about hockey. That's right, we're going to drop in on the Royals and check in with them, and we're going to find out if you want to get into the trades, what's going on in British Columbia, new opportunities. So stick around. So let's help Ross Bay Villa not only be saved, but have a future. Because when we understand our history, I think that our future is brighter. I want to thank you so much for all the work that you have done. And I want to thank you for watching. We will see you next time.
Women's clothing provided by Tulip Noir. Casual designer fashions. Men's wardrobe by DG Bremner & Co. Menswear and accessories. Hair services provided by Salon J.